Okay, a very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is the 21st July 2022, a Tuesday class. So we are having this Thursday class. We are having this Thursday class sharing at Sister Padmasuri and Brother Tune's house. Let us now compose our mind, develop the faith, Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。阿拉汉萨玛萨布多巴嘎哇，布当巴嘎วัน当阿比瓦迪米。Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhamman Namasami Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tutiampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tutiampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Surameraya Majapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Okay, now we will chant the Patipanga Puja. You all can be seated. And the page 3 of the chanting book, Patipa Puja, offering of likes. Ganna sarapa dipena tamadang sina diloka dipang sambuddhang pujayami tamonodang ganda samvara yuttena Dupena hang sukhang hita Pujaye pujaniyang tang Puja bhajana muttamang Vanna ganda guno petang Etang kusuma santatin Pujayami monindasa Siri pada sarorohe Pujemi bedang kesumena nena Punnena matena cha hotu mokang Pupang melayati yata idang me Kayo tata vinasa bhavang Adivase tuno bante Paniyang parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang Adivase tuno bante Pale parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang Adivase tuno bante Bojanang parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang. Now you chant our puja aspiration based on the understanding of the significance of all these puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense which we are offering to the Blessed One, which is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana, making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Sada, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers, sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, now let us pay respect to Pajama. Betang Pujami, Dhammang Pujami, Sanghang Pujami. Okay, you all can be seated. Okay. Just relax body and mind, maintain our attention, and we can have our half an hour of awareness-based meditation. Feel off the light, so that you can begin or commence your meditation. Half an hour awareness-based. Just relax body and mind, maintain awareness, and silence everything. So the four support, remember, first one is relax. Relax into every mind state that arises. Relax your body, physically, completely relax. Then after that, silence everything. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything, just maintain awareness. The third support is maintain this awareness for as long as you can. Theoretically, is throughout the day, 24 hours. Then after that, when your awareness nature has been stabilized, you will understand what that silent mind is all about. Then how from that silent thought arise, perception arise, contact arise, aggregates of mind arise. Then you can see weakness clearly, how you function as a human being, what happened within your form and mind every moment, every instant, you will understand. And this is what awareness-based meditation is all about. Through that silent observation, the direct seeing become possible. The awakening become possible. The silent mind can insight into phenomena and awaken to the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So all this can be understood. Okay, then the last support is trust, which you will not do now, unless you have already developed the ability to stabilize your awareness. Then you can relax everything, maintain awareness, and stay at the heart area. Then allow that nature to detect the gateway to your pure awareness nature within. The gateway to your nature is not easy to detect. Without the pure awareness, stability of it, there is no possibility. That's why you don't do until you have stabilized your awareness nature and you have understood what this thing is. Then only you try to develop it. Okay, I will let you meditate on your own. Then I will set the alarm for 30 minutes. Okay, you can slowly, mindfully, come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Now turn to page 6 of the chanting book. We will chant the invocation to the Devas. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chyokawaresu Atra Gacantu Devata Saddhamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma sabanan kalo ayang badanta. Dhamma sabanan kalo ayang badanta. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho. Ija charana sampano sugato lokavidu. Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati. Satta deva manusanang buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipaseko opanayiko pacatang veditabo vinohiti. Supatipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ujupatipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Nyaya patipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Sami patipano bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Yadidang catari purisa yukani atta purisa pugala esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakeneyo anjali karaneyo anuttaro punyang ketang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, you all can miss it. Pamasri can on this slide. Yeah. Okay. So once again, a very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is Thursday class, 21st September 2022. So we will be continue our sharing from that short notes. As I promised you all, I finish everything except the explanation of how creation comes to be, then how from the understanding of the creation, you can develop the understanding to meditate. So I have drawn on the whiteboard. You can have a look. These are the 4 stages of transformation of creation, the creation process. The creation process. That one is vibrating. Okay, better now. Okay, so when we talk about the creation process, we are talking about our own form and mind. You see, as a human being, which is for our case, but not necessarily a human being. Every living being, we have the same five aggregate of form and mind. But behind the five aggregate of form and mind, there is this special nature. Some call it the true nature, the original nature, or the oneness nature. Then people also call it the source, because it's the beginning of all things. So this one is the source. Sometimes the scientists call it the singularity. Yeah? From there, everything starts. That's why they come out with the Big Bang theory. Yeah. So this is how it originates. For living beings, not only human beings, all living beings, if you want to come to this existential world, so this phenomenal world is the existential world. For you to come to this existential world, you need a form and mind. A form and mind, which is what we call the vehicle and the tool for us to come. So this thing is only possible if there is this law of karma. So this is a nature's law, moral causation, based on mental intention. So the moral causation, the law of karma is very important. Because of this law, when living being die, or you call die, actually it's just the separation of the form from the mind. When the causes and condition no more, either the life force, the karmic force, already no more, or the physical body get destroyed, or the brain or vital organ get destroyed, then the consciousness cannot stay inside, then it has to leave, separate. So any of the three conditions no more, then we call death, or you say the being died. So death is just a separation of causes and conditions, no more form and mind. So this karmically conditioned form and mind, they have to come. Yeah? So the law of karma creates the condition for living being to arise. To come to this existential world, you need a form and mind. Yeah? So this form and mind need form and mind. So this one the Buddha called the five aggregate of form and mind. Five aggregate of form and mind. So this is karmically conditioned. Karmically conditioned. So karmically conditioned. So this karmically conditioned form and mind is needed for a living being to arise within the existential world or the conditioned world, which we call it existence, existence, or the phenomenal world of existence. So this phenomenal world of existence is what life and existence is all about. So because of law of karma, you have your karmic nature. It karmically condition a form of mind for you to arise. The other thing that you have to understand is when you meditate, you will come to know because of this form of mind, you can actually detect that nature within. When you know how to meditate, when you know how to connect to your true nature, because that is what nature is all about. Without the form of mind, you cannot return to your nature. To return to your nature, to access your nature, you need the form of mind. That's why within the form of mind, there is this gateway for you to go in. You can only go in through pure awareness, where that is where you come out. Yeah. So the process of creation now, you have to understand. This one is very important. So once the form and mind come out, living being doesn't have any understanding at all because of karma. You have been lost for so long. You don't know how to develop the meditative understanding to silence your mind to return. You cannot return because the only instrument that you are used to is the thinking, the thought process, which comes later. So once you meditate, you will come to know all things originate from the source. This is how it originates. From the source, the first thing that comes out is this pure awareness. This one is the first to come out. The pure awareness. So this pure awareness is the first one from that nature, the source of that nature. This one come out, pure awareness. That's why our true mind, our true nature is awareness, pure awareness. So this one is very important. So this is the true mind, or our true nature. So to meditate, you must detect this. That's why this is the silent mind, your true mind, your meditative mind, your awareness nature within. That's why it's called the pure awareness. So this awareness nature within, you have to realize it. But this is the one that come out first. But from here to here, it moves very fast. Most people don't have the ability to stay here at the pure awareness nature or true mind. It's because the thinking comes about very fast. It's like you got no control because you have been so conditioned since young. When you are born, what did your parents teach you? The labeling, the conditioning, the memory, everything you do creates thinking. From what they teach you, which is all knowledge, that's why you teach the kid when they are born, where they don't know how to speak, they don't know how to talk. So, Papa, Mama, that's why the first two simple words are pa, pa, one sound, one consonant. Then after that, A, apple. Slowly you teach. And this one becomes knowledge, memory. Then as they create more and more knowledge and memory, their brain develop. They accumulate all these memories. That's how the thought arise. Where through memories, thought arise. That's why thought is response to memory. So here is thinking. thinking mind. Or the thought process. So thoughts is response to memory. When there is memory, thought can arise. That's the reason why the newborn baby, before the memory is there is no thought. They have the form and mind. They have the five aggregate, but they are pure, non-grasping, because there is no memory. That's how it slowly starts. So when they are newborn, they are not cunning. They are very naive, very creative. That's why you find the baby very cute, because they don't know how to pretend, no cunningness, no like pretense or whatever. They don't accumulate anything. They are just the way they are. So all this, you will start to understand. So from the pure awareness, thinking arises very fast. That's why we call this the third stage of creation. Is this one is stage one, huh? First stage of creation. And second, the first thing that come out is pure awareness. Then from there, the third stage is the arising of the mundane mind. So this mundane mind is what the Buddha called the five aggregate of form and mind, the second aspect. The first aspect is as a human being. So two aspects of the five aggregate of form and mind are there, but here is referring to the mundane mind, the thinking mind, the dependent originating mind, the condition arising mind. And how does thinking arise? Because there is memory. Thoughts are response to memory. I use plural. And when you have the memory, the conditioned thinking, you are so habitual in your way you behave through your views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, whatever things you accumulate, like your fear, your phobia, your scars of memory, your insecurity, all this will condition you to think, to respond, to act. That's how this heedless thinking come about. The mundane mind, before you are trained in meditative training or meditative understanding, you think a lot, because this heedless thinking is a result of delusion, ignorance, the lack of the five spiritual faculty. That's why the mental hindrance create mundane thinking, and this thinking goes on non-stop. For heedless people who have not trained their mind, this thinking, like, you cannot stop it. This is what creation is about. So from your thought process, you manifest consciousness. So this phenomenon of consciousness is what existence is all about. So this is the final creation, stage 4. The fourth stage. So the phenomenon of consciousness is what you become conscious of. Whatever you see, color, shape, and form, scenery, or whatever, you come to see and perceive. That is the seeing consciousness. Then whatever you hear, there is a hearing consciousness. Then whatever you smell, there is a smell consciousness, taste consciousness, tactile, sensation, physical, sensation consciousness. Then the thought process. That's why there is this sixth sense, the thought consciousness. So this phenomenal world of consciousness is the one that makes you able to see the world, to know the world. Now you can understand how you create all this and how you function as a human being. Because through all this, you created the phenomenal world of consciousness. When this phenomenal world of consciousness arises, it's like the world is real. Life is real. Existence is real. Everything is real. Like you exist because you have a physical body, even though make up the four elements. So this is how living being from its true nature lost. Come on. Can understand the process of creation now. Okay? Hope it is clear. Yeah? This is the first time I go into more detail. Yeah. Then when you understand this, you have to understand that these five aggregate of form and mind, they have their physical senses. Physical senses. Because they have their physical senses, it's able to arise sense door consciousness. This is how the phenomenal world of consciousness come about. So as a human being, the five aggregates of form and mind, like I have explained in the past. So this one is the five aggregate, okay? The whole thing. Then you have a physical body. This one is the physical body. Physical body. Then this one is the consciousness trapped inside. Consciousness. So this one trapped inside. And because of the consciousness that is trapped inside, because of the senses, the senses, upon contact, how to draw. These two, they make contact. So upon contact, consciousness come to be. Okay, so the physical senses, you know, your five physical organs and the brain, they make the sixth sense door. Then this consciousness is trapped inside. This one is actually a separate entity, where this one is a bundle of what they call karmic processes that create the bundle of memories with its views, conditioning, and whatever content inside there. And this one is the one that we call the random consciousness that is conditioned inside there. So upon there, this one come out. This one come out. That's why the random consciousness come out on the physical body. Yeah. This one is also energy-based. But then there's another third entity, which is your life force. Life force. Or what they call karmic force. So the supportive karmic force, this one, will come in and drive the whole thing. This is what energy is. When this one comes, it pumps your heart, it sends the blood around, and your blood, which has your consciousness and what is whatever chemical organic content, they will nourish all your organs. That's why your senses all get nourished. That's why without the heart to pump, without this life force, you also die. So this life force is energy, can trigger off thinking, can trigger off consciousness. So all this arising, the phenomenal world of consciousness, this one is a sense door consciousness. So this one actually is the resultant of these two. The resultant of these two. When the senses and the mind, we call it the mundane mind, make contact. So this whole thing is the mundane mind. When it make contact, it trigger off sense door consciousness. And the energy comes from your life force. Can follow? Okay, clear? If not clear, you can ask. Yeah. You have to understand this part first before I go into the second part. So this is the 4-stage creation. This is how you come up. But most living beings, they are only here, onward. They don't understand this too. And now you know why you cannot understand life. Why they cannot meditate. Because if you fail to realize what the pure awareness is, the silent mind, the true mind, the meditative mind is, then you cannot understand creation. You cannot understand how it creates the mundane mind. Then when you cannot develop the awareness to see, you cannot understand how the mundane mind created the phenomenal world of consciousness. Can follow? Yeah? If you cannot even touch this one, then how can you develop the ability to detect the gateway to return to the source? To realize Nibbana, the unconditioned. That's why coming back, returning all this is what enlightenment is all about. So when you have the understanding, what you need to do is you have to reverse this whole process through meditation. How do you do it? We need the pure awareness here to see all this, to develop the wisdom. Pure awareness to see and develop the wisdom. That's why when you silence your mind, develop the inner awareness, then you can insight into phenomena and awaken to that universal characteristic. That's why the Buddha said you have to realize that this 5 aggregate of form and mind is not what you think. These 5 aggregate of form and mind are impermanent, dependent, originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. They have the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta. See this. Develop the understanding of this. Then you will not be deceived by the phenomenal world of consciousness. To do that, you need this wisdom. This wisdom can only arise from the direct seeing, the silent inner awareness that can see things as they are, that can insight into phenomena and awaken. It doesn't involve thought at all. That's why you have to be here at all times. This is what meditation is all about. Stay with the awareness nature. Be aware. That's why the Buddha said, sati, mindful, aware. That's what you need. Let's stabilize it so that you can be ever mindful, constantly meditative, which is heedfulness. Then you are guaranteed enlightenment in the here and the now. Okay? So once you develop this ability to meditate from the pure awareness, to see and develop the wisdom, then this phenomenal world of consciousness fail to have power over you. This one will collapse. You know it exists, but it is not what you think. It's not real. In the sense that it's impermanent, dependent originating, condition arising, following nature's law. If you grasp and cling, you suffer. The second universal characteristic. And because it's impermanent, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity that you can grasp onto, hold on to, and say, this is me. This is I. Therefore, all this can be mine. That is sacredity, self-delusion. So unless you awaken to it, the universal characteristics are anicca, dukkha, and anatta, non-self, not a permanent, unchanging entity. And because it's impermanent, it is not what you think, unreal. It come, it go, it come, it go. And everything is just following this nature's law of dependent originating, condition arising, cause of the. Ultimately, he no you, he no me. Everything is empty, not what you think. Whatever arises passes away. But through memory, we retain them. Through memory, we accumulated them. That's how we create our own suffering, our own sacredity, self-delusion. We grasp, we cling, we hold, we give meaning. Then when things don't go your way, when you cannot get what you want, you suffer, you become afflicted. You take the unreal as the real, impermanent as permanent. You want things your way. You cannot accept change, the reality that manifests within the conditioned world, where you fail to understand the nature's law that governs life and existence. This is what the Dhamma is all about. This is what life, existence is all about. If you understand the Dhamma, you understand the secret of life. You know how to live life. And the Dhamma is the essence of the Buddha's teaching that summarizes to us all of life, both mundane and supramundane. That's why that teaching is very unique, very beautiful, and is extremely rare to come about. Then once you understand this, when this one collapses, then you can return all external consciousness, external phenomenal world of consciousness and form back to the mundane mind. Then you realize this is the one that created that. When you are aware, then this one loses its power. You can follow. Then after that, your awareness becomes aware of how this mundane mind create through what? Mundane mind create through wrong view. Creates through wrong view. So this one is very important. Or what the Buddha calls sacredity and ignorance. So this one is very important. When the awareness is aware of the movement of your mundane mind, it will start to understand how you are conditioned into negativity of mind state, how fear arises, how selfishness, craving, desire, grasping, clinging, wanting things your way, possessiveness, covetousness, how they arise, how fear arises, how insecurity arises, how the mind becomes restless because of fear. And behind fear is ignorant, delusion. Ignorance and delusion is wrong view, trigger of fear. Fear, trigger of worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, the whole mass of suffering, grief. That's what Paticca Samuppada is all about. Avijja Paccaya Sankhara. So this wrong view is basically avijja, ignorant. Avijja, or ignorant. Then this one also self-delusion, Sakaya Ditti. So when you start to see all this, you start to understand how you become conditioned into heedlessness, negativity, and how from there it conditions your suffering, your misery. Then you wake up. Then you realize this is delusion, this is stupidity, this is heedless living. Then you decide to change over through understanding. You straighten your view. Once you straighten your view, you become different. You straighten your view. Once you do this, means you have wisdom. When you have wisdom, then you are free. Then this mundane mind fails to delude you. Then you will come to an understanding. Think also like that, don't think also like that. Then you will also understand there is this conditioned world with its own truth, with its own reality, which is the conditioned Dhamma. That's why the law of karma, everything applies to the conditioned world, existential world. Duality exists, everything exists. That's why the form and mind, the 5 degrees of form and mind, it has its duty, where this one is subject to karma. So through all this meditative awareness, you will develop all this understanding. Then when you understand, this mundane mind will cease. This mundane mind will collapse. Finally, when it ceases, it will collapse and you will realize Nibbana, the true mind. Initially, you develop the meditative training until your pure awareness arises. When your pure awareness also ceases, can see better write it clearly. When this one also sees, pure awareness also sees, then one realizes Nibbana. So when this one sees, it can realize Nibbana. Nibbana is the unconditioned cessation of form and mind. So this is how you actually return the phenomenal world of consciousness back to the mundane mind. Then you return the mundane mind, which is a heedless thinking mind, to the pure awareness. Then from the pure awareness, when your wisdom has stabilized and developed sufficient understanding, then it will cease. When it ceases, the unconditioned, which is Nibbana, sometimes a glimpse for sainthood way. When you realize the glimpse of Nibbana, you realize what they call the change of lineage. The change of lineage from a Putujana, you transform into an Arya. And this glimpse, they are experienced by Sotapan and Sakadagami. For Anagami and Arahant onward to Bodhisattvas, the process is different. They realize Nibbana for longer period. When Arahant, they root out ignorance. This ignorant avijja is gone. There's no more rebirth. They don't have to come back. But for Bodhisattva, it's different. Their cultivation is very extensive. They go beyond the Arahant way. They go beyond just rooting out ignorance. They develop the understanding of the continuation of cultivation by taking the Bodhisattva vow and understanding the various training that is possible without having to come as a normal unenlightened living being. That's why both he is enlightenment, Sattva is a being. A Bodhisattva is actually an enlightened being that comes for rebirth, to cultivate and perfect themselves to become Sambuddha. So initially, karmically conditioned out, there are two aspects. One is through ignorance. The other one is without ignorance, and yet it can come. Because through a pure mind, out of love and compassion, and the four basic vows of the Bodhisattva, it can also come with a pure mind. That's why Bodhisattva's birth is not through avijja. It's through a pure thought, a pure mind. Because of the four basic vows. The first basic vow, out of love and compassion for the living being. They vow to take across the numerous living beings throughout the entire existence. That love and compassion is a pure wish, a pure mind. Then they vow to save. That's why they got work to do. So that creates the karmic energy, the karmic force. No need to ignorance to come. That's why Bodhisattva can also come. Then that training is different. That one, from pure awareness reaching cessation, it continues to locate the gateway to our nature. When it locates the gateway to our nature, the mundane mind will collapse and cease. Then the pure awareness nature from the source will shine forth, because we have the five aggregate of form and mind. Then it will shine forth. Then this being, when the mundane mind collapses, is ever mindful, because the supramundane pure awareness nature shine forth. It has the form and mind, five aggregate, but these aggregates are pure aggregates, non-grasping, different, totally different. And they don't have the mundane mind to cloud them, to create the whatever obstruction. That supramundane nature is so bright, so clear. They are fully aware throughout the day and night. Even while they are asleep, that nature is always there. That's why they cannot die with delusion anymore. They will die with that nature inside, that understanding. But then, the whole process is not easy unless you can develop the cultivation and go through all this. Okay, I finished the first part already. Any question? Is it clear? Yeah? I think somebody must take a shot of this first. Bertil, your camera. Yeah. Because I have to rub off, otherwise not enough space to share the second part, the triangle. Yeah. Okay. So now I have the whiteboard. I will go to the second stage now. You see, after you understand creation, the creation process, how all these things happen, then you will understand what I mean by the meditative understanding using the triangle, or I call it the Trinity, to help us understand what meditation is. So this Trinity, because it happened to be a triangle, and I realized that triangle can explain the thing very well. That's why this triangle is very useful. Although some people don't like the word Trinity, because it sounds like a Christian teaching, but it's nothing to do with that. So this one up here is we normally draw it as a C because it's the pure consciousness or the pure awareness. So this C is actually pure consciousness or awareness. So now you understand why we start from here. This C is actually here, the pure awareness or the pure consciousness. Understand? So from here, the first thing to come out is this pure awareness. First to arise. Or maybe I use come out. So first to come out from our nature. So this one come out first, okay? Then down here, is the senses, S. So S denotes senses. This is where our five aggregates of form and mind manifest. So if you use your pure awareness straight away to create mundane thinking, so this is where the senses is, so the mundane thinking will arise. So this one will trigger mundane thinking. So that's how the mundane mind comes to be. You understand? Yeah? So this one is for mundane living. If you use this to create mundane thinking, then you are trapped here at the senses. So this is where the dwellings, the paticca samuppada dwellings, or paticca samuppada movement takes place. So avijja paccaya sankara, all this keep on happening here. Or we call it the heedless living. Mundane or heedless living. So this one is non-meditative. You understand? But if you move in this direction, then this one is meditative. But this one down here, you will develop what we call wisdom. Wisdom or yoniso manasikara. Wise attention or wisdom at the moment of sense experience. Yoniso manasikara. Manasikara is attention. Yoniso is wise attention at the moment of sense experience. So this is what we call the meditative training. Direct seeing. Meditative training. So if you use your pure awareness, which is your silent mind, or meditative mind, to meditate, then you develop the direct seeing, the insight in the phenomena, the awakening, and from here you develop the wisdom. Then when you have the wisdom developed, this wisdom is connected to the five aggregate of form and mind. That's why this one is noble living. Noble living. Noble or heedful living. So this one is Pati Veda, the third phase of Dhamma. When there is wisdom connected to the five aggregate of form and mind, then this five aggregate of form and mind is no longer deluded. That's why with the wisdom connected, this five aggregate of form and mind become an Arya, enlightened being, free of delusion. So hopefully by now you start to see how you should develop the understanding of meditation. Not just gullible, blindly follow what people say and teach you. They ask you to note, you note. They give you a method, a technique to meditate. Using what? The thought again. There's a thought-based meditation you're doing down here. You create more thinking, more thought. You don't have the silent mind, the inner awareness. You cannot realize this true mind. So how can you insight into phenomena? The Dhamma, which is beyond thought, beyond mind, you can't. Because you move in the wrong direction. And this is mundane, heedless living. And living being 99.9999% all do things there. Very few come this direction. You can understand. So hopefully with this, you are clear. There is a link that I sent out, Appendix 6 in our Heart Sutta book. That one will have the whole thing inside there. Just I asked my daughter to actually save it. This whole thing is there. That triangle. So no need to remember this. You go to that one more clear. So if people following the Zoom, they can see that. You can on your phone also. Your phone also has it. I send to my Kayamita. Okay. So if you can open up, you will see the triangle, the triangle. And it's very clear. Up there, the C is the pure awareness or the pure consciousness. Then I put in bracket the oneness nature, where you are with the pure awareness, spacious awareness without a center. That is the oneness nature. Understand? Then some people call it the essence of the mind, our true nature or original nature, which is the source up there, before the pure awareness come out. Then this is the unconditioned, which is beyond thought, beyond time, and beyond mind. Look at the green triangle. And this one cannot be perceived or sensed. This one is a stillness, the silent mind. Its characteristic is clarity, tranquility, stillness, no movement. Everything is just quiet, silent. Then on the right-hand side, the arrow to create mundane living or experiences. See, that's why I wrote there for mundane living, or before you become enlightened, heedless living. Then down there, the senses, mundane thinking, mundane consciousness, the form and mind, the sense basis, the 5 aggregates of form and mind, paticca samuppada. Then you develop the meditative understanding by going the pure awareness side. You go to the left-hand side of the triangle. You will develop the silent mind to train yourself to meditate with the direct seeing via sati and pure awareness, to develop the understanding or the wisdom. So there, put W, you can also change it to U, which is understanding, is the same. So wisdom born of right view, samadhi, or yoniso manasikara. So this is how you can develop it. So this wisdom W can also be U, understanding. So U is understanding or wisdom. Then you can go back and read up on the Appendix 6. The Appendix 6 is very detailed, very important, very beautiful. Okay, clear? Any question?
Good evening, Rachel.
Yes.
Or
you want to say something first?
yeah, Rachel, today is a very good revision.
How
to say, how to develop the noble living.
Yeah.
Most of us, how to say, have not reached the level of the silent mind, whereby we can have a better understanding of how to live, how to say, to lead the noble living. So I think all of us, So having said that, the understanding of how the mind works, especially from the mundane mind to the phenomenal world, we have to get this very deep into our deep into our understanding.
Understanding, yes.
Yes.
You must see it clearly and understand it, not as knowledge, not what people tell you, not what you read, no. Through your silent within, your inner awareness, you see it happening. You see how your mind create the conscious mind to lashes on to the phenomenal world. How seeing consciousness come to be, how that nature become conscious of seeing through the mundane consciousness. Aware. Yeah. That is not knowledge. Then you know how you function as a human, how you can do that, how you have that capability. Then you realize the moment you open your senses, especially your eye, the whole phenomenal world of sight and sound, your seeing consciousness can see, exists already, arise already. That is what creation is about. That's why I say the creation process. How you create, actually. And how do you know the world? How do you develop the ability to interact with the world? So, to know the world, we need the senses. The senses, through its sense-door consciousness, together with the mundane mind, you perceive and develop knowledge, which is how you know the world. Then through the senses, you also can interact and communicate with people. Your speech, your voice, your whatever conscious mind that can deliver the communication, the understanding, the seeing, the hearing, the smell, the taste, the tactile, and the thought process. So all these are what cultivation is. When you reverse the light to go in and detect the inner awareness nature, stabilize it, and live from there. That's away from inside out. Then you will develop the understanding. You will see your inner world. Then you will see the external creation. That's why you see inside and you see outside. You see the form and mind manifesting, creating. Then how the mundane mind latches on to all this creation before it have the understanding, and later on when you insight in the phenomenal awaken and have the understanding, the wisdom, the understanding part protects you. So all this you must see clearly, not only as knowledge, like today, of course, initially pariyati, the learning of the teaching, you learn, you can memorize it, you can try to understand it, but when it comes to formal training, putting it into practice, you have to do it with the awareness, not always using your thought process to think. That one is thought-based learning, which is what we call thought-based acquisition of knowledge. So when you do that, it ends up as Dhamma knowledge. You cannot live it. It cannot be a reality, a living reality. Dhamma cannot manifest as a living reality because you don't really experience it through the awareness nature within. You need to go back to the awareness nature, silence your mind, realize that, stabilize that, and then everything I say and share become clear. You will understand. Okay, this is just to add on, Pijit. Sadhu, for bringing out the condition.
Hi, Brother, I'm here.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe I can share my conversation with my direct supervisor, my boss.
Okay.
Yeah. So this month actually is the month where we had our mid-year review, where we you talk about your performance half year how we see ourselves, whether we perform or whatever So his question to me was what is my career bank my career plan in the bank.
Okay.
Yeah, so I told him that it's not anything. I mean, to me it is not something that I just told him that I want to, you know, be able to resolve whatever cases that come my way, and to be able to handle difficult stuff well. Just by, you know, being calm when I handle them, and having things get resolved amicably.
That one more important.
So he didn't say anything much to that, but he did he did share with me that it's not easy to do that, because I say my feedback to him was because I could see that sometimes his temper not so good.
Not so well trained.
That means if he sees something that is not so good, he will suddenly get very irritated, and he will raise his voice.
Raise his voice and burst into some maybe more harsh way of dealing with people.
Yes. But actually, I've seen him better already. Past few years. Then he was telling me it's not easy to do, because when you look at the work, or suddenly that feeling of irritation will already surface in him. You know, he said he cannot control.
Which is very true for normal living beings or human beings who don't have the understanding of the Dhamma. It's not easy. You are dealing with human beings, or especially Bank Nagara staff. They are all smart people.
So because he got promoted also quite young, around, I mean, to be a deputy director in his 30s. So
it's very young.
Very young. But his temper not so. I mean, he easily get irritated, and he can start.
No wonder he asked you about your career plan in Bank Nagara.
Because he also was laughing.
He is more ambitious type. That's why his career plan is he aim very high.
But he told me he actually didn't have that intention to become a deputy. Don't know, like he just said that. But
maybe
so
he don't have intention to be deputy. He wants to be the director.
I don't know.
Joke.
Maybe
that one is a joke though. So you should have told him. Your ambition is, career plan is very simple. Keep on getting promoted until you retire.
I don't
so unless you become the governor, you say, then I stop there.
Well, it's just that when he told me that, you know, when he sees something, when he see our work and it's not up to his expectation, he will get irritated. So and then he will really like you know, that the anger will be there already. So it's not easy to try to stay calm when facing work every day.
He is that type of boss who actually demand performance on.
But he is one of the few that is very good already.
Background, all very smart and intelligent, good people.
Because when I joined the bank earlier as a junior, my immediate boss, she was so like so tense all the time. I don't really see her walking on, you know. She will be running from one place to another. Because it's always like chasing after deadline.
No wonder. So Bank Nagara is not easy. remain strong.
So I think I also, for so many years, because I do not know the actual Dharma.
Yeah, you
I follow the stuff.
Behave like them, follow their stuff. But now you different, isn't it?
Yeah, very bad. Like, I mean, you just imagine, don't walk, run. Why you want to live your life like that?
Yeah.
And
when you start to understand, you look back, you will come to the understanding that it's not life. Life is not just work, and work. Where there is a lot more thing beyond the career. So you have your own understanding of life. Then you become different. You do your best. Because like they used to say, whatever job you do, nobody is indispensable. Understand that?
Yeah.
And you cannot finish where the work is unending. Especially you go to a department where you are efficient and good, they keep on giving you job until you also finally cannot take it too much, because there is a limit to what a human being can do.
Yeah, that's very true, because you know what happened to my that boss. I think around, but it was lucky she was Bank Negara staff, because I think she had already accumulated enough. Before she was 50, she suddenly resigned, not early retirement. Just 24 hours, because she said she cannot handle it anymore. And then just disappeared like that. And because she was so stressed, she also blamed the bank that, why my boss like that, treat me like that. She was quite angry. That's why she 24 hours like early retirement. Actually, she didn't early retirement already. She resigned. Just that.
A lot of people finally throw letter resign. They don't have time to wait for optional retirement to be approved. Well, that one you put in letter, you have to wait for approval.
Correct.
Some cannot take it stress. A lot of people I heard before.
But she did it in a very abrupt and unhappy way.
Very common. This type of stuff very common. Throw letter. But there are some who understand one. Sui got one friend who understand one. Throw letter. He hasn't got a job, but he happily throw letter. Where he saw a lot of things inside there not right already. Then he put in the letter.
Okay.
But this one, he is not stressful one. It's just that he saw the whole of the top management, I think they are having problem. Then the one that hired him one also resigned. That's why he see it's time to go. That's why he just put in the letter. Different people, different. So this particular friend of Sui is also one of our Kayamita who had the understanding. He can take it easy, no problem. He said, enough. Otherwise, the environment is charged with negative thinking and negative for my mind. Very fucked up, very complicated, very complex. Then a lot of enmity and infighting, backstabbing. So he said that is not the place that is conducive for him to work. Moreover, he's still young and he has a lot of potential. That's why he just put in the letter. Then he said with his saving, he can survive 3 months. No problem. He got no fear, nothing. He just do it. Nowadays, the generation different.
Yeah, he's quite wise and also brave to be able to do that.
Wise, brave, and have clarity. He believed in karma. He said, don't worry, things will happen in favor where he understands. He's seen it happening before. His previous job also same. He was given VSS. Then after the VSS, he doesn't worry that he got no job. He said, why not take first? Then after that, while he was thinking of having a break, suddenly he got friend come and offer him, oh, you resign already, or you assess, okay, we offer you a job, and that job turned out better, blessing in disguise. That's why he happy-go-lucky, get 30% raise overall. So people cut pay rise. That's why he has some understanding and he believes in karma. I think he will do well.
But this my immediate the one that resigned, she also quite good karma, because even though she resigned, the director actually helped her to negotiate with the HR to turn it into early retirement.
That is very good. Sadhu. That's why blessing in disguise.
So she still get all her retirement benefits.
Pension and gratuity, everything. Yeah, very good.
Gratuity and also the health benefit.
Health benefit. Yes, health benefit.
So lucky. But this was actually when she told me that it's not easier to handle, and I don't know why that day very naturally I just told him, oh, that is very normal. If you are not happy with, then you would feel understood. But then you just let it be lah. It comes out, then you don't respond to it lah.
That's why you must have the understanding, otherwise you cannot do it. A lot of people cannot understand. When I decide to retire, also same that time, 40 something, my MD cannot understand me. He said, Theo, you still got great potential. You are at your prime, your peak. Why it's a waste? Like to them, it's a waste. Then I said, no need. I said, simple. I said, my daughter graduated already. My son don't go overseas. I don't have any more financial burden. So simple life lah. So take a break. I have to do what I want to do in life. So people make decisions based on understanding. So everyone is it. Like now you have some form of Dhamma understanding. You can make all this decision easily. You can share all this understanding even with your boss easily. But for him to understand your position and outlook is not easy. That's why Dhamma makes a lot of difference. Today's sharing is very good. When you understand today's sharing, you understand life. You understand the secret of. Then you realize everything that I have shared with you all before is actually covered there. But I didn't go to this level of explanation and extent of expanded on the understanding. It's because most people are not ready. You all can't even that time understand what pure awareness is, what that silent mind that through my only until recently. That's why now I can teach differently. I can share differently. So all this is a very natural consequence of training the mind to develop the understanding. So good, Manyan. Now that you see all this, you yourself have their whatever Dhamma understanding, you become different. Compared to the past, you very panicky, very emotional. You small thing also irritate you last time. Now you know more. You are a lot more calm, more clear with your understanding, and you know how to resolve issue now. And you understand karma better. Huh? You're also more tactful in your approach already.
Brother, thank you. Talking about karma, I also want to share another occasion. My nephew just recently got a job lah. So after he left college, so after his first month of working, he got his salary. So he took us out for a meal on him, you know.
Yeah, for a treat. Very good, Sadhu.
Yeah, really sadhu him because I didn't expected that from
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Because I see him like also not mature.
Yeah, we are so young.
I really shocked. But that day after the meal, when it's time for him to make a payment, he went to the counter with the father and he took out the money and pay, you know.
Oh, Sadhu.
Then I suddenly I look at the mother. The mother was seated with us at the table. And I just noticed, I look at her, I can see that her face was full of happiness.
Yeah, joy. Yes.
Joy. That's right. Then suddenly I just felt, oh, that is mother's love.
Yeah.
I felt that she was very happy because she was feeling this is my son and he has worked and is
started the career life and first month salary so generously spend it on parents and loved ones. Yeah, this was a very good parami.
Yeah, I saw that kind of happiness and
the joy.
And when I saw it, I don't inside me, I just understand the parents' love for the children.
Yeah, for their children. Yeah.
Because my this nephew, not to say that he is very smart or he is having a very high level job. It's not, you know.
Yeah,
but
no need all those things on.
He's not a doctor or an engineer.
Yeah, no need on.
But I can see her not to say pride, happiness. Happiness.
That's why when you have contentment, simplicity, and understanding, you can have the good life. You don't have to be wealthy, rich, and all. No need. You don't have to be like very high status or have a very good job or thing to be happy. No, simple things can make you happy when you have contentment, you have understanding, gratitude, because this nephew, his family must be somebody also simple, and they are contented. Then they have joy because they see their son graduating, working, then able to buy lunch or dinner for you all. So there is a lot of joy. My first month salary also, I was full of happiness, joy. I want to use that money to spend on my family too, people whom I have gratitude towards. So these are common, and most people feel it, especially the first month salary where I earn it on my own now. And first time I see quite a lot of money. So all this is good. Then I remember we all, as classmates, we were gather a few of us together, say go and really have a good meal, like order dishes. Last time I was chop fan, but suddenly graduate already, work already when we meet. Hey, order something nice. So these are very good practices. When you have that joy, when you have that contentment, things become different. Otherwise, when you start to compare, you become unhappy. Ayo, how come my classmate, the salary so much more than me? I only kai sui kam to. Then you become miserable or what? Or nothing. What your thought tell you, which is negative. So the joy should come out from your graduation. At least you are so much happier where you didn't fail. At least you clear your final year exam and graduated. Then you have a job. It's a blessing to have a job. Then the first month salary, use it for the good of the many, including yourself and your loved one. That is what the four types of happiness that the Buddha talked about. Very good. Sadhu.
Because when I saw that happiness, then I was thinking, yeah, like Brother Teo say,
Yeah.
You need to work. Okay, like me, like I work in a bank, so what? Work like half work, so stressed.
Correct. Correct.
No meaning, right?
Yeah, no meaning. The young graduate so easy, so happy. Your nephew, Sadhu. Very good. That's why when you see the bright side of life, you become different. Like my daughter say, you have to cross 40, only you think of your parents. Otherwise, no time. You go after your own life. This is very true. Like for your age now, you will think more of your parents and you have gratitude towards them. Just like you saw your nephew's mother, the way she had the joy and the smile, you know how the parents had loved you or the nephew, that you saw it expressing out. So parents always very happy when their children are able to come out to the career life and do well, or at least have a proper job. That is the beginning of joy. Then when they see you able to develop the understanding of life and don't give them problem, then have gratitude towards them, they're very happy on. Parents very content, very easy to be happy. I mean, most of them, not all those who can sue, a lot of expectation. That one is you paying back coming debt. Because last time you also can sue, you pressurize your children, must be this, must be that. Then now you come have this type of parent you cannot back. But most of them are quite easy to please and have joy. Because the parent willing to sacrifice a lot for children. When they see the children grow up, becoming somebody who is responsible in life, they become very happy.
Yeah, right. Your Sui is correct. As I grow older, I also think more of my parents.
Yeah, you definitely will. Especially now you take care of your parents so well now. And earlier on was it your mother's sister? The one that
Yes.
you saw them going through old age and all those things. That's why you will see a lot of Dhamma.
Yeah. Now I understand more about the suffering of getting old.
Old age sickness.
Old age and sickness.
Impending death and all those things. These are realities of life and existence. That's why when the Buddha taught all this teaching, the young people cannot understand one. He said, every day talk about 生老病死. He said, to them they are not interested. But as they grow old, then they appreciate. Then they realize, yeah. Because nowadays, I go out for dinner with my classmates. Last time, in the heyday, they talk politics. They talk about college day. They talk about career. They talk about stock market, everything. Nowadays, everything also don't talk already. They talk about living life and health. Health is number one topic. Everybody talk about health. Oh, you kena this or not? Your blood pressure how? Your sugar how? Anybody experienced stroke before? Then now COVID, booster taken or not? What type of booster? All these are the discussion now. That's why every phase of life is different. But why must you wait till that phase of life to understand all this? The Buddha taught all this. That's why I really see a lot of living beings dependent on their karmic. They become what they are. They are just the way they are. So I just smile because a lot of things living beings cannot understand. Even now, you're all going through all the Dhamma understanding, and I teach you until relatively advanced already. But do you know a lot of people don't even have very basic knowledge of Dhamma? They are totally heedless, I tell you. They don't know what is going on in life. That's why you should have gratitude, like thank your good karma for having the condition to receive all this understanding. Really.
I thank my lucky stars and also because I get to learn Dharma from Brother Teo lah. If not, like, still don't know lah. Keep on doing
also
it.
your good karmic past, your affinity, triple gem and all those things. Otherwise you won't be here. You won't be learning all this. You will be more interested in other things. But because of affinity, that's why all these are possible. Sadhu. Very good. Anything else, Manya?
When I to my boss, I was sharing about, you definitely will feel that negative, anger, all those. But I told him what I do because it happens to me also. So what I do is I wait for a while, and sometimes I observe the other person who have triggered that anger in me to know why she did it that way or say things that way and most of the time I discovered, lucky I didn't say what I wanted to say when I'm angry. Because most of the time after the other person explain, it is not like how I thought it was.
How you perceive it. You have perceived it wrongly, differently. In fact, most of the time it's like that because the individual thought process, the way you perceive the world and other people is so like confusing. Because like a lot of people, they come and tell me, especially those who have problem. But these people, they like that. I say, how do you know? I say, if I were you, I forget about all these things. Why? Because you think people got time. They already got enough problem on their own. They got time to talk about you and comment about you. Forget about that. Even they do is because of their heedlessness. Understand?
Understand. Really correct.
So based on all this understanding, you will understand the world is the world. People are just the way they are. Coming 100%, 99.99% or nearly 100%. It's all coming. You look back, you will understand. Just let things be.
But in the past, never let it be.
Because that I don't have the understanding.
Got understanding also still cannot or don't know why. Habitual tendency, right?
They used to say, we know, but we cannot do. They always say that. So I say that is thought-based, Dhamma knowledge. You cannot put it into practice, a living reality. That's why Dhamma need to be understood and cultivated with understanding. Then it can become a living reality. Then it can manifest in you. Then we are not here to study theory, accumulate more knowledge. That one won't help you. That's why now with today's explanation, mundane living and the meditative training leading to supramundane living or noble living, very clear, because we know the creation process. Once we know the creation process, we can develop the straightening of view to develop the understanding of living life and meditation. That's why I say when you understand the Dhamma, you understand the secret of life. Everything is there about life. You think easy to draw into that four circle or what, and create a triangle to explain all these two. You're not easy. You need a lot of understanding to understand that manifestation, that creation, and how to teach and how to share. Because a lot of things normal people cannot, even Buddhists also cannot understand a lot of them. unless they have their past and they have their special affinity with the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Otherwise, this type of teaching not easy. Not easy to even comprehend, not to say penetrate or realize.
Yeah, sometimes, Brother, maybe the other person, if you tell him this, he may even get angry with you.
Yeah, definitely. Because they think you are trying to like say things very lowly about their understanding and all those things. But we don't talk this thing to other people because not until you understand, I cannot explain all this. I cannot share all this. But after you have the basic understanding, then I can go deeper and deeper. Then you all develop the understanding, then you all can understand. Because this type of teaching, I ask you truly, sincerely, have you heard before? You haven't. There is no book that write about all this. And this is not from the sutta or what. Some of the basic terms that I use are from the essential Dhamma, but how I link it and how I share it and teach it is completely different. It's not recorded anyway. So it's up to the individual who have the affinity and the interest and the faith. They will benefit, then they will progress. So all this is very normal.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah, exactly 10:30. In fact, 10:31. So thank you so much, Maya. And also to Sister PG. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So once again, today's sharing, hopefully you all listen to it, then develop clear understanding of it, then map it out, then cultivate, put it into cultivation. Once you develop the awareness and go into it, inwardly, retrospectively, develop the awareness to be aware and understand all this so-called the creation process, how you manifest from the pure awareness outward, then how you return and cease and realize the enlightenment, all they are possible. Then all this, when they become clear, has meaning, you become very different. It will motivate you, it will transform you, and your understanding completely become different, transform. Okay, we will now do the closing puja, the sharing of merits. Then after that, we will end the whole Zoom session. Akasata cha Bhumata Deva Naga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anamoditwa Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasana Eta Wata Chamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anamodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Devo asadukalena sasu sampati hetu cha. Vito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamena mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, let us now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Bodhisattva, and all the Bodhi ones. Then we will end the whole Zoom session. So once again, thank you. Sadhu.